day, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on May 30th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me are Rooks and Zance. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
So, this is the big one, version 2, coming out in just a week from tomorrow. Yeah, we have some idea of what's going to be happening today, but at the same time, we don't necessarily know everything that's going to be happening here. The one thing I do want to say at the top of the show, though, and a lot of people may have missed this, the new enemy race is confirmed not for the week of release, but the week after, that being the 14th, so make sure to set your expectations appropriately here. Now, there's a chance they may show up in the story during the first week, but in terms of open field and battle areas, that's going to be happening a week after launch.
I am hoping that for main gameplay changes, there's going to be a bit more than just a new enemy type.
Yeah.
In what way?
We've been missing a lot of basic gameplay features for an open world game, like proper gathering, going around, getting these basic resources, and then pretty much having next to nothing to do with them doesn't help much. So we don't have crafting, we don't have anything else that, I mean, for our open world game, supposedly, Final Fantasy XIV has basically been kicking NGS's butt so far in terms of everything.
True.
The only thing we may have over Final Fantasy XIV right now is combat
Yeah, and that's just because the game is more action-oriented than it being a traditional tab-targeting MMO. But yeah, we will see what comes with this update. I mean, it's going to come down to a question of if they're holding things back specifically for story reasons like they did for Chapter 5. If they do that, they may be limited on what they can show us today. But at the very least, I'm expecting a new opening trailer to hit. But we'll see what all that entails, I guess, soon enough here. Looks like their stream just went live, so we'll be switching to that as soon as things get underway here. Let's see. In terms of other expectations, I mean, we've got, of course, the new creative spaces coming up this week as well. I'm looking forward to diving into that and seeing what we can actually do. I really hope they added a bestiary function where you can summon enemies and fool around with their AI to basically create danger rooms and such.
That would be fun, but it's also a question of, do they want to actually would they possibly want to show up their own content that way?
That's a good question. Some people have been predicting that basically they're going to start letting players create their own missions and such, but I guess we'll have to see if that's actually the direction that they're going to take. We do know from the last Headline Plus, though, that there is another quest type on the way, so we'll have to see what that is as well. And then, you know, there's the whole question of what is going to be happening with the story going forward here. I've said all my pieces with that in terms of from the last Secrets of New Genesis. But anyway, here we go.
Welcome back everybody to NGS Headline. Hello everyone, it's 9 p.m. So let's get started with NGS Headline. I'm the
time
host
for
of this
once.
show, Hiro
Yep.
Arai, the official NGS
Wow,
navigator.
I'm surprised.
Here to bring you the latest info on NGS.
And of course, on my side again, I'm delayed.
The end of May is nearly upon us. And in June, we'll finally see the release of PSO2NGSv2, which will be centered around the creative space. The promo art featuring the creative space really gets you hyped to play, doesn't it? We will provide more details about PSO2NGSv2 during this broadcast, so please stick with us until the end.
Centered.
Once again, this program is to inform players about the present and future of Sega's online RPG, PSO2 New Genesis, or NGS for short. With info on current operations, future updates, campaigns, and more.
Oh, and hey, Rio Pichu, thanks for tuning in.
This is a pre-recorded broadcast. If you would like to watch it in Japanese, you can check it out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's move on to the updates you've all been waiting for.
NGS Hot Information.
In this broadcast, I'll focus on introducing our NGS version 2 update. But I have something else to share with you first.
New opening animation? No.
Our Revival AC Scratch Ticket
I would expect
Rewind
that.
Collection May 2023 will be available from May 31st. This selection focuses on scratch ticket items in NGS specs that were released in
Starting with
April
AC
and May
Scratch.
of last year.
Yep.
The scratch count bonuses include comeback items like dash buoyant and dash crossed arms motion changes. ARKs who already have these motion changes can recycle them into consumables at Item Recycle. Add these new items to your favorite outfits to have even more fun with character creation. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. As promised, from here on out, we'll be showing info on version 2. Let's start with some video footage.
So they're sticking with the orange theme now. This sounds like this might be the creative space music, actually.
Probably. Because, yeah, they're focusing a lot on the creative space for this update.
Way too much.
Honestly, that's fine. Like, more, like, creative stuff for players to do is a good way of bringing a lot of people in.
Creative Space's mount has to be based on the surf. It has to be supported by the main gameplay of NGS, though.
Not really.
Yes, it does, because you have to go into the main game to get the
Oh, yeah.
stuff for
True.
Creative Space.
Yeah.
Thus, if the main game stinks, then this is not going to work. People are going to wonder why they had the main game around when it's just focused on the creative space.
Okay, so we're getting an idea of some of the things you can buy now. Oh, you can actually get items for regular gameplay, it looks like, as well.
Also, I know it's not exactly fun, but I'm going to say it's fun. It's the return of fun!
Although they're called Genesis points now.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta say it in the same enthusiasm. Genesis points!
I got that one right. There's a new pack that you can buy.
Yep.
You can make your own Green Hill Zone.
Beautiful.
Also, I guess no need for Sonic Man anymore. I'm surprised they didn't hold this off until his birthday, though.
Yeah, because his birthday's pretty soon.
Okay, new chapter.
So, Alpha was an experiment.
And we were the test subjects. But what were they trying to do?
There are too many unknowns.
There's a lot we can still accomplish.
I'm lagging so far behind you.
And of course,
Same.
stay on alert for any signs of stars.
Maybe try refreshing.
If we work together, we can ensure that no stone on Halpha goes unturned. Together, we can do this. In that case, I'd like to talk about the next steps for the two of you.
We'll do whatever we can to help. Right?
Interesting, Manon's not there. Alright, new skills. I guess these are actually photon arts. No, these are skills.
Yeah. Something really cool for Gunner. Hail of bullets. Oh, just
Oh wow,
amplify
this
it.
one
Okay.
for forces. Here come the portable holograms. This is going to be anarchy.
I'm gonna have fun with that.
Especially because you can place them anywhere, and I'm really curious how many you can place in the field at one time.
I think the devs really don't understand the Western mindset.
The cell shading, I am super excited for. I love cell shading, and honestly, that looks really nice.
I may be passing on it. I'm not as excited for it. A new easy photo mode, okay. Oh, you can actually adjust your focal length there. Oh, nice. They're gonna let you dump points into skill trees as soon as you earn the points now.
Ooh, nice. I prefer that. That's very nice. You don't have to constantly just go back to town to do that.
Right. Here's another AC scratch.
Of course. Also, misspelled searches. I just got up to that point. It's like, yes, now you can misspell the thing and still be able to search for it.
Yep. That's been needed for a while.
Oh, a long time. Ever since base PSO2.
Yeah, I kind of was surprised that they didn't have something there for the players who struggle to type.
Yep. Some kind of Shogun cast, it looks like. Although those are from yeah, these are from the item design contest again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, new cast sets are always appreciated.
A Rappy piloting a cast.
Yeah. It's so adorable. I love it.
Tickets for portable holograms. Nine-star weapons the next week. And
Oh boy.
starless. Oh, that looks like a Didal there.
Looks like that prediction's coming true. Or maybe they actually have the ability to take over the. Maybe they have the ability to take over the dolls.
Giga Strugment. And then a new mission pass. There's a new icon there. I didn't see what that was for. Level cap 75.
Oh boy.
And a new rank with level 70 areas added to each combat sector in Alio. Along with Skylifters in each sector. Indress Lilies in Resolve Forest. Okay, Gigantics do go up to level 75, and that appears to be... Yeah, so... It looks like Gigantics have been replaced. What did he do to that Noglip? That looks like...
Ooh, Starless Gigantics. Interesting.
Yeah, that looked like... There was an old enemy from Phantasy Star 2 that was... I can't remember what the base was called, but there was a mushroom on top of it. It's sort of like the whole... the same Cordyceps thing, and this is... Phantasy Star did this first. Don't look to The Last of Us for this. Phantasy Star did this first.
What did you think?
Yeah, basically Cordyceps taking over the brain.
Let's get started. As we have previously mentioned, NGS will undergo an Ultra Evolution and start its new future as PSO2 New Genesis version 2 on June 7th. A raft of new content like the creative space is on the way, and the story and battles themselves will also see an upgrade, so be sure to stay tuned. Now, let's get into the details of the version 2 update. The creative space is a significant evolution from the personal quarters of PSO2. In the creative space, you can edit an entire island that belongs solely to you. Using building materials called build parts, which can be modified in scale and color, you can freely create building interiors and exteriors. The terrain of the island itself can be changed to produce mountains and valleys as well. And you
curious
can
if you
work
could
with
get rid of
other
all the
players
water.
to make huge buildings.
Yeah, be
The
able to
connect system,
terraform
which
stuff.
links parts together, can be used to open and close doors, turn on lights.
Yep,
and
you can
create a
terraform
wide
it.
variety
Nice.
of
Yeah,
activities,
it's just a
like
question of how
mazes
much.
and quiz games. Use this system to play however you want. What you create with your build parts can be saved as designs, which will allow you to duplicate and reposition your creations as well as share them with other players. You can download and use shared designs to place them in your own space. However, to reproduce the contents of a design, you must have the build parts utilized in that design. There is no cost for downloading designs, and the owners of downloaded designs will not receive any type of reward.
Yeah, they specifically had to call out the you have to have all the parts because of a certain other game, I think.
Expand their interactions with other players. The creative space building materials, called build parts, are mainly purchased using Genesis points.
All right, how
which
long
is
will
a
it
new
be
type
until
of
someone
point
makes
system
Among
we are
Us?
introducing in NGS version 2. Genesis points can be
Probably
obtained
not
I don't
from
know.
a GP tree located
Oh,
in
absolutely
the
not.
creative space. They can also be acquired from other weekly tasks and the limited time tasks provided by Archa, the ARKS architectural researcher. Archer will also teach you the basic controls for the creative space, so you can familiarize yourself with them through tasks and earn Genesis points and task completion rewards along the way. Among the build parts that you can get
They had to
with
put the
Genesis
GP
points
tree in
are
because
a
they know
number
there's
of
going to be a lot of
objects with
people who don't want to play the
interesting
main game.
such as
Yep.
the ARKS decoy, which allows you to place a clone of your character.
So if you're not interested, you
and
can
the
just exchange
Interspace
these 4
teleporter,
capsules there,
which
it looks
allows
like.
you to jump between 2 locations. In addition to build parts, Genesis points can be exchanged for augment capsules, Aegis Integra, Ajax armor, and other items that are useful in battle. Be sure to check it out when version 2 arrives. Some of the furnishings from PSO2 will also be made into build parts and added as new items. Most of these can be purchased directly with SG from Buy Build Parts. We will be gradually adding in more build parts based on PSO2
I better
furnishings in
be
future
able to
updates.
just put a bunch of Jack Frost around.
The Resort Build Parts Pack will also be available at the in-game AC shop. This pack comes with 5 different types of build parts that can be used in the creative space, including a pool and hanging chairs that you can use to create a resort-like atmosphere. The price of this pack will be 580 AC. Please check it out at the AC shop. In addition, a collab pack with costumes of Sega's popular Sonic characters and themed build parts for the creative space will be available at various stores and at the in-game AC shop.
They say this includes a premium
This
set, so
pack
this might be
includes
worth
a
it here.
15-day premium set ticket and other consumable items. Be sure to take a gander at what's inside. From version 2 onward, our strategy will be
it's a
to
15-day
split
set.
each chapter into multiple segments. Our first attempt at this will be with the release of Chapter 6, Part 1 of the main story. Zefeto has revealed a number of truths to us on Lucille, which up until now had been referred to as the Floating Island. A new threat has emerged as well.
Now, this isn't the
In
first time they've
response,
done this. They did this back in
Hartford
Phantasy
begins
Star Universe as
discussing
well.
countermeasures with leaders from each region. The protagonist and Aina will be given new missions to prepare
It
for the
better be
next
worth
battle.
it.
Technically, they also
Along with
did it
the
for
release of Chapter 6,
PSO2 as well
we have made
before the
adjustments allowing
Omnibus
for easier
update.
progress through Chapter 5 of the main story. The game has been adjusted to make it easier to play by eliminating both damage attenuation as well as the battle power requirements for accepting story quests. We have also lowered the level of the enemies that appear.
Guidance getting worse.
In addition,
Yep.
we plan to significantly increase the total EXP earned while balancing reward distribution between main task rewards and Guiden's side tasks, advice about the quest counter, and an advisor in trouble, from which players could get large amounts of EXP up to now. If you haven't completed the main story through Chapter 5, we encourage you to take this opportunity to advance the story. Each class will get a new class skill to prepare for the battles to come. The new class skills will enhance the characteristics of each class and expand your range of options. Along with these new class skills, each class will be seeing balance adjustments.
Yep,
The
and we'll be
details
going
of
over those
these
later.
adjustments are available on the official NGS site if you would like to know more. Portable holograms are making their debut as a new feature for communication. You can put holograms wherever you like at each ARKS base and in the open field. You can place multiple holograms simultaneously, but please be aware that this is limited by cost restrictions. Holograms disappear automatically when the character moves a set distance from where the hologram was placed, and they are reset when logging out or transferring to another block. 3 types of holograms can be placed: objects, effects, and paint. Among
Makes
these,
sense.
paint can be applied to floors and walls. In addition to the basic holograms that are in place at the start, as with emotes, there will also be new variations that you can get as AC scratch ticket prizes, for example.
Question is, will we ever see
Let's spruce up
Central
Planet
Tower
Alpha
with
some portable holograms.
unpainted ever again?
Yeah,
You'll
that's,
be able to switch on
I mean,
cell shading
you
for
get,
characters in the
what I think
options
the
menu at
city
the
can hold like
salon.
100 players. You get all of them
This also
using all their
applies to
points at the
Aina,
same time.
Nana,
It's gonna
and
be
the other
it's gonna be
characters
anarchy.
who appear in the story. And you can make detailed adjustments to outline emphasis, shadow density, and more to personalize the setting however you'd like. Please note that this display setting is only available in NGS and does not apply to PSO2 blocks. Please also note that due to specifications, there are a few avatar items to which cell shading is not applied. There are also a variety of other new features on the way. First, we will be adding an easy photo mode that makes it a breeze to take shots of your beloved characters. When the situation calls for it, try using the fixed camera function to take pictures.
Having a photo room at the
You'll now
ARK
be able
space
to
is
set
gonna
up photo
make it
rooms
so
at
much
ARK
easier for
spaces.
streamers now.
However, it will not be possible to move as a party or access NPCs. We'll also be adding the ability to adjust how garments expand around the waist area. Plus, when you complete a cocoon or tower and earn skill points, the Learn Class Skill window will appear, allowing skill points to be assigned on the fly. Another major functional improvement is the ability to reallocate skill points at any time through the class counter.
Yep, so no longer need the reset tickets.
Up till now, you could only assign the skill points you earned once. Going forward, you'll be able to revert skill points after assigning them. So feel free to experiment
Yeah,
with
that
different
makes the
class
game so
skills.
much friendlier
And
to
in the item
newbies.
search function of the personal shop, even
This
if
is
you
probably
get a
just an
letter or
NGS
two
change
wrong
only,
when
though.
spelling an item name,
Yeah,
candidate items
because the
with
whole
similar
thing
names
of
will be displayed.
skill points only being applied once,
In addition,
unless you had the
although
receipt,
not
the
shown in
reset
the
thing,
video or on
that
the
was such a
slides,
beginner's trap.
We've got a bundle of further improvements for you,
Yep.
including the ability to use scratch ticket slips in storage without the need to move them to your inventory. Though not mentioned in the video, in order to reduce the overall size of the NGS game data, the data for PSO2 will be changed to free DLC for the Xbox One, MS Store, Steam, and Epic Games versions of NGS starting with the update on June 7th. This is already the case for the PlayStation 4 version of NGS.
Oh, that's nice.
After this change, the data for PSO2 will no longer be included in the data for NGS. If you would like to play in PSO2 blocks or play music discs that require PSO2 data, please download the content from the store for your platform.
And those that already have it need to download it again.
Other items such as weapons, outfits, and accessories do not require the download of this content. Please note that players who installed NGS before the June 7th update will also need to download the free DLC to access PSO2 features. Now it's time to show off the new AC Scratch Ticket, Designer Dreams, June 2023. This is the second round of winning
Yep, you have to
entries from the
re-download PSO2.
10th Anniversary Item Design
Yep.
Contest that have been made into items. Like the first round, it will feature a variety of unique and fashionable items that showcase the creativity of our users' submissions. You can also get tickets to add new variations to the newly implemented portable holograms. The scratch count bonus will have alternate versions of the Dark Mage motion change items included as scratch ticket prizes. We've picked out the gems from an avalanche of entries so you can go wild with character creation. Watch out for a new enemy species, the Starless, coming on June 14th. Mysterious entities that descended from outer space, the Starless are powerful opponents that enhance both themselves and surrounding enemies, and unleash an unprecedented type of attack. With the appearance of these tough new enemies, new 9-star rarity weapons are also on the way. These will appear in the Aleo region and will drop from enemies that are level 70 or higher. The new Tassa series of 9-star rarity weapons have different potentials within the same series, depending on the weapon category. When multi-weaponized, the potential of the main weapon side is enabled, allowing for a variety of combinations. In addition, there are 3 types of potentials. Find the best combination for your style of play. The Starless also dropped the new augment, Sea Star.
The last time they did that was with the Relic Weapon series.
Synthesizing them can make it into a powerful augment, so it's a good idea to collect them. In addition, the new Giga Strugment exchange will be available at the exchange shop. You can collect Giga Strugments dropped by Gigantics and Recon Gigants at level 79 and higher, and exchange them for Photon Chunk 2A and 2B, as well as augment capsules effective in dual quests.
I guess a bunch of people are going back to Stia then.
The level cap for each class will be raised to 75, and a new rank with level 70 enemies will be added to combat sectors in the Aleo region. Starless will spawn at this new rank, and Starless boss enemies may appear in trials and PSC climaxes. You can also earn titles by playing the new rank in these sectors. In addition, new gameplay elements will be added to each sector. All ranks at Mount Magnus and Vanford Laboratory Ruins, as well as the exploration sectors of Aleo,
okay, thank you,
sky
Ryukichi,
lifters, which make it easy to take a big jump forward and traverse through an area. All ranks at Wrestle Forest will have Hindress Lilies, which, when made to bloom by taking damage, release an AoE shockwave around them. There are also side tasks that can be only accomplished by using these new elements. For new ranks and new quests added in the future, featured item drops will be displayed on the world map and in the quest acceptance menu, making it easy to see what kind of drop items you can expect.
Gold Prim Sword 2.
The Gigantics in the exploration sectors have been raised to level 79. Gigantics in other regions will remain at level 74 at this time. But in addition to the level up, Aleo will have Starless Gigantics adding to the chaos. I hope you are ready to take on the challenge of these tougher enemies. Recon Gigants will also appear in North, West, and South Aleo. Be warned, very powerful level 79 Gigantixified Starless will be patrolling in squads, so be very careful when taking on this challenge. In addition, a new object called Minin will be added to exploration sectors, which can be used to obtain Photon Chunk 2A and 2B to strengthen your weapons and prepare for battles against powerful enemies. Furthermore, new ranks will be added to some urgent and trigger quests, and changes will be made to enemy levels. First, Dark Falls Interception will be getting a rank 3 with level 75 enemies, and the enemies in rank 1 of the Battle of Halfia Lake will be set to level 75. You can also earn titles by completing these quests, so be sure to join in.
Still no high
Starting with the
difficulty
June
version
14th
for
update,
Battle Halfia Lake.
Command Dolls Suppression Op, Nex Vera Suppression Op, and Mining Rig Defense, Alio, will no longer occur naturally as urgent quests. So if you wish to play these quests in the future, you will need to activate them as trigger quests from the quest counter.
That's not surprising. They have to make room for the new ones.
Also starting June 14th, all weapons and armor can be enhanced up to plus 70, with an enhancement level of plus 61, increasing the augment slots from 5 to 6.
All right, plus 70
Since
armors
a large
then.
amount of enhancement EXP is required
units.
to achieve a plus 70 enhancement level, we suggest using Gold Prim Sword 2
Yay,
and Gold
more
Prim
augments
Armor 2 to do
gamble
so.
over. Oh boy.
These can be obtained in the combat sectors of Alio and in urgent quests.
So immediately we're going to be
Wasn't
seeing
mentioned in the
another
video.
another weapon up
You can get your hands
boost here
on
then,
2 different AC scratch tickets starting June 14th.
or starting the week
In
after
AC
launch.
support items
Oh,
select
absolutely.
June 2023. New XD type augments will be introduced. These are the high-end version of the ADI type augments that increase offensive stats. Strengthen your weapons and armor and aim for even greater heights.
These would probably be like a plus 4% or something.
In addition, Accessory Collection June 2023 will re-release some of the most popular PSO2 spec accessories from the past. Make sure to check this one out as well. The NGS Season 21 Mission Pass also includes new accessories such as Ivlita Kibs, which is based on a unit released in PSO2, and Wheel Buckler, which is based on a shield, Magform AQ-21 Wagtail, which is modeled after an airplane-shaped drone, and a motion change item, Landing Whirlwind, with different effect colors also available. Now let's go over the updates for the second half of June. First,
Alright,
check
part
out
2.
this video.
Sorry being so quiet. I'm lagging behind you by a bit. I've reset the
Try
stream
increasing the
multiple
speed
times.
of the video to like 200%, and it'll eventually catch you up.
Okay.
Special
Also
training
celebrating
Green Hill
Sonic's birthday.
Sprint. Yep.
Also, it was really funny to go over to the Sonic section while the speed was going at 2 times speed.
Yep.
Okay,
And
I'm
they have
kind
you-
of happy about this. In a
Yeah,
weird
they have
way.
you collecting Chaos Emeralds.
Oh, I love that. As the dumb Sonic fan inside me, I am happy.
I am too.
Also, I recognize this music.
Yes,
Is this from Sonic Yeah, it's from Frontiers.
It's from Frontiers. This is a cyberspace.
Yeah.
Now, if only they had you fighting Eggman's robots.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I might actually have to mute the BGM here, though.
Oh no, they won't get. They
Oh,
won't
Supersonic outfit.
Oh boy.
They won't.
You know I'm gonna be rocking that. Oh, and the 7 Chaos Emeralds! Oh, I love it. I'm gonna be on to get all of that. I want all of it.
So, Brightstar, don't worry about the music here. They won't ding you for that one.
Okay. New duel quest. Against the Starless. Which basically means they... Well, we'll see if they have the capsules again or not. No mention of capsules. They may have actually listened to us.
Huh. Ooh, those wings.
Yep. Kind of reminds me of the Water Wings accessory. Leg wheels.
I like them. Ghost in the Shell collab. Ooh.
That's interesting.
I was halfway wondering when they were going to start these again.
I'm curious if we're gonna get a Tachikoma mag. Tachikoma mag, I called it!
Yeah, you called it.
And also an emote for it as well.
Idle touch. I like that. Yeah, how
What
long
did you
has it
think?
been since we've had our last
Allow me
collab?
to explain the details over some
A
slides.
while. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been like, what? At least
Sonic's
4
the
months
last
or
one
so
was
now.
the
Starts June 21st.
with Type Moon.
This year, not only will Sonic and friends be appearing in the lobby of PSO2 blocks, Central City in NGS blocks will also have statues of them scattered about. During this period, many new items related to Sonic will be available through login bonuses and limited time tasks. Join in the festivities and let's all celebrate Sonic's birthday together. We hope you will enjoy it along with the Sonic collab, Suits Sea Space Pack that we mentioned earlier, which will be available from June 7th. What's more, we've also got a Sonic-themed limited time quest, Special Training Green Hill Sprint. This quest features a fast-paced, Sonic-like sprint through Central City and West Alio. By collecting the rings and Chaos Emeralds scattered throughout the field, you can earn quest points, and all players will be progressively enhanced according to the total number of rings and Chaos Emeralds acquired.
do you lose rings
There
when
are
you're hit?
also limited time tasks and exclusive
Good
title
question.
casts for this quest. And by completing them,
Oh,
you
there's
can earn
titles. Brett's gonna
such
be all
as
over
Sonic,
that.
Tails, and Knuckles, in addition to collaboration stamps, music discs, accessories, and other items. So don't miss out.
We'll see if it's just a single playthrough that gives you a title or not.
Next, allow me to introduce the new Duel quest, Duel Phase 2. Set in South Alio, you will be tasked with taking on a very powerful starless boss enemy. The rules are the same as the previous duel quest. 1 participant, no automatic revival, and a grueling quest that ends in failure if you take longer than 5 minutes. The enemy is very powerful and requires a great deal of skill to defeat. But by collecting augments exclusive to this quest,
That's
it
debatable.
is possible to
There
take on the
they are,
challenge
the
with an
augments.
advantage.
Yeah.
By completing this quest, you can obtain new and unique accessories as well as a special title as rewards. So load up your best class and give it a go. Next up is the new AC Scratch ticket, Spiritual Conflict. Show both sides of you with wear featuring angel and demon motifs, sci-fi style necromancer garb, as well as the unique emote, squeaky hammer, and grace motion change items. The scratch count bonus will feature another version of the motion change item leg wheels from the scratch ticket prizes. NGS is doing a collab with Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045 from the Ghost in the Shell series, a seminal work in cyberpunk science fiction. This is the collab key visual drawn by the NGS art team to commemorate the collaboration. This noteworthy collab starts after the end of scheduled maintenance on June 28th. Let me give you a brief introduction to Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045. The story is set in 2045. The world has plunged into the sustainable war, a planned war that can be continued indefinitely. Full-body cyborg Major Motoko Kusanagi and other former members of Public Security Section 9, now working as mercenaries, are confronted by a new threat: the mysterious post-humans. Amidst a whirlwind of intrigue between the major powers, the members of Section 9 reassemble to face this new threat. We'll also have a new AC Scratch ticket, Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045 style. This ticket includes outfits based on Motoko Kusanagi and Batou from Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045, and firearms that appeared in the series, like the Cibro C40A, which will be available as weapon camo. What's more, it's got a number of emotes, motion changes, and mags based on the Tachikoma, a multi-legged tank with a mind of its own, so keep an eye out for those as well. The lineup will also include non-collaboration items, such as prizes from past AC Scratch tickets. Lastly, we'll have a Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045 collab commemoration login bonus. Log in during the collaboration period to receive a special login bonus for up to 7 days. You can get Ghost in the Shell stickers and posters for your creative space. That is all the update information I have for today. Moving on to the next segment.
All right, the the operation report. That's it.
NGS Operation Report. For this segment, the NGS Operation Report, I, Hiro Arai, select questions and comments from players to bring to the development and live operation teams and bring you their answers. Let's get started. It was previously announced that we would be able to take on the prologue again. How is that coming along? Here is the team's response. Thank you for your patience. The prologue will be available from the quest counter under the ARKS Chronicles in an August update. That was their answer. Let's
Okay, not
move
too
on
long
to
on
the
Takes
next
them that
question.
long?
Yeah.
I would like to see higher difficulty content that can be played in a party instead of solo. This was their response. In an August update, we plan to release a new
August.
type of high difficulty quest in which players will work together in parties to take on challenges. Unlike with dual quests, the strategies for this quest will not involve specialized equipment. There will also be a new boss enemy dedicated to this quest. That was what they said.
That's sounding
I am
maybe
also
like
looking forward
challenge
to the
mode.
release of this high difficulty quest that I can enjoy with my friends and other players. Let's continue. The general impression is that the strategy against the enemy tends to rely on guarding and sidestepping. Do you have any plans to address this? Here's what they had to say. In the future, we are considering making it so that some content will require different combat strategies than usual. And as a touchstone for this, we plan to implement a boss enemy in an August update with an attack that cannot be guarded against or sidestepped, but must be avoided by considering where to position yourself. That was their answer. This
Now
seems
that
to be
sounded
about
like,
the boss enemy that
PSO
appears
style
in the
there.
high difficulty quest that
Yeah,
can be challenged
I
as
like
a
that.
party, as mentioned in the answer to the previous question. It seems that the development team intends to consider future strategies based on the reactions of users after the release, so we would be very interested in receiving your feedback then. Could you implement a function to check DPS in-game?
Nope. It's gonna
Here's
be
our
a no.
team's
It's gonna
response.
be a no.
In response to your requests, we plan to implement an optional feature
What?
in a future
Oh,
update
boy.
that will allow the user
Oh,
to display
no.
the damage
Oh, that
inflicted
is going
by
to
the
cause
player
so
per
much
second.
trouble.
That was their response. This is something that has been requested for some time. Please hang on a little longer for it to be implemented.
All right, players, get your weapon rank, get your weapon power up, or else you're going to
Having
start getting
active
kicked from
skills that
parties.
cannot be used without switching weapons while using a multi-weapon is very inconvenient. Would it be possible to make them usable without needing to switch? Here's what they had to say. For some class skills, the multi-weapon mode is automatically changed upon activation. We plan to make changes so that they can be activated when switched. At this time, the class skills we plan to support are the finishing attacks Jet Sweep Jolt, Familiar Harmony, Unleashed Rage, and Gunblade Focus Overdrive. That's what they had to say. That's all for our Q&A today. Moving forward, I will continue to select and bring your questions and feedback to the development and live ops teams and share their answers with you. We hope you will tweet us your questions and comments on Twitter and other social media with the hashtag NGS Headline. Let's go to the next segment.
NGS Satellite Information.
Now we'll move on from the updates and talk about some other NGS-related info. I'm sure it will get you even more hyped. Let's get started. New reward items will be added for NGS official creators. Until now, creators who have been selected and certified as NGS official creators have received Premium Set 30 days and Material Stores Use 30 days S as reward items. Those who have been certified for 3 months or longer have been given an official logo accessory. However, from June 2023, a new accessory, an official logo badge, will be available as a reward for NGS official creators. It is also an accessory similar to the previous one, but it has a more three-dimensional design that can be customized freely by zooming in, zooming out, and rotating it. It is easy to use as a point of interest on an outfit and can be presented in a variety of ways suited to your taste. The accessory is available in 4 color variations: bronze, silver, gold, and a special color. The color of the accessory will be awarded according to how long you've been an official creator. Creators who have been NGS official creators for at least 3 months as of the announcement of the certification in June will be presented with all of the color grades they have acquired. Details will be announced at a later date on the NGS official creators site. We are also continuing to look for new creators, so if you are interested, we would love to hear from you. We are pleased to announce a Discord post campaign on the official NGS Discord channel.
Oh yeah, that
Everyone
Discord
who
channel.
posts a self-introduction following the template on the official NGS Discord between the end of maintenance on June 7th and the beginning of maintenance on June 20th will receive a weapon camo, 3 NEXP earned plus 25%, and 50 SG. We hope many ARKs will join in. Please visit the official site for more details at a later date. Now I'd like to introduce the NGS version 2 release celebration campaign scheduled to start on June 7th. The limited time login bonus includes an item container, gold, and build parts for the creative space, such as the new bridal confection and bamboo tree, which have been renewed for NGS. Once you log in and receive them, please display them in your creative space. There will also be a Get Big and Strong boost campaign that offers an EXP earned plus 100% boost in beginner combat sectors from Alio to Kvaris, and for Battle Dia Yellow in Alio and Retum. You'll also get 10 B-Trigger Common Yellow as a gift when you log in during this period. So why not take this chance to train and strengthen your skills? Celebrate Sonic's birthday 2023 with the world's fastest hedgehog starting June 21st. As mentioned earlier in the hot information section, we'll be offering a limited time login bonus from Wednesday, June 21st. Log in to snag the fanciest accessories featuring Sonic characters and build parts for the creative space. Don't forget to get all 7 days worth of gifts.
I think they've
We're
used
also
those
planning a
statues since
keyword giveaway
PSU.
for Sonic's birthday on June 23rd. We'll be announcing Sonic's
They definitely look
32nd
like it.
birthday celebration
Significantly
and the
low
keyword
poly
on the
enough.
official Twitter. Say the keyword in the NGS in-game chat to get gifts such as new Sonic stamps. It's all being announced on our official Twitter page, so please follow us and send us your congratulatory messages for the birthday hedgehog. That's all for this episode of
that's it.
NGS Headline.
Yep.
After this broadcast, we'll be releasing the official promo video of the newly completed NGS version 2 for the first time, so please be sure to tune in.
Oh, we'll need to watch that.
In this program, we are looking for your opinions to help us improve NGS. We encourage you to tweet not only about the game, but also about your impressions of the program and any messages of support for the development and live ops teams, etc., if you have them. To make sure we see them, please add hashtag NGS Headline to your tweets. As a representative of the users, I will continue to work with the development team to make NGS a more enjoyable game for everyone, and I look forward to your continued support. The next episode of NGS Headline will be on Tuesday, June 27th. We will focus on the July updates. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now then, ARKs, I'll see you at the next NGS Headline.
Thanks for watching here on Tuesday night. I'll see you on next NGS Headline. Bye-bye.
Alright, so let's see if they're starting it right now. Yep.
Oh, okay. These are some pretty good edits.
Yeah, this is like in the style of the Slayer update as well.
Mm-hmm. Probably got the same editor.
Doing the robot there.
All right, pretty good.
Yep. Alright, let me take us back then. So, overall reactions.
About what I expect. It's honestly a basic thing. They really didn't reveal too much. It just felt like just another update, with the biggest thing being the creative spaces.
Yeah, I kind of had that feeling as well.
Meet NGS version 2. Basically version 1 with creative space. In other words, still trash. I am sorry. They did not fix the basic core mechanics of the game. They need to go back and fix how the gathering is how the open world. They need to fix the gathering system. This is not deserving of being called version 2.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Like, you think about like other games that had a version 2, like with online and then universe. They added brand new areas, much more enemies, like new abilities, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And with
What?
with version 2 of PSO, all that added was the new difficulty and revamps of the existing enemies and areas, along with level cap increase.
Yeah, so while it's sort of in line with that, it's not really in line with what most players would expect of a version 2 in general.
I'm sorry, this is not NGS's Realm Reborn moment. This is NGS,
Oh no, it's never going to be. I don't think there will ever be a moment similar to something like Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
I do know that there are a lot of people who like bringing up Final Fantasy 14 for examples of games that started off horrible, but then when revamped was actually fantastic. That's a rarity. It rarely happens. The only other one of recent example I can think of is No Man's Sky.
Then maybe there's probably a reason why they're not yet killing off base PSO2, because NGS is still not ready, even with the creative space.
Yeah.
Oh no. And also there's just so much that you can still do in base PSO2, so there's no reason to take it offline.
Yeah, and sometimes a version 2 just ends up being worse than the original, like with what happened with Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah, true.
I hate the fact that this entire time, all the effort went into the creative space.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that here's the thing. Any gameplay improvements, core gameplay, core experience improvements that could have been put into this game was sidelined for the creative space.
And honestly, the creative space is what's going to bring in the most amount of players.
Until they realize they have to play the core game, to
Which
get that
they'll
stuff.
end up doing it.
Yeah, and that's probably why they put those skip potions in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get to that later.
That's probably also why they're making the first couple chapters a lot easier, is for those newer players that are coming in for the creative spaces.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things play out from here. I mean, maybe something we still don't know about is going to be showing up in the story chapter, but at this rate, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Also, this World May End. This is nowhere near the same situation as Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2, it's basically just this Overwatch with nothing else different. And what was going to be different, they canceled.
And then, what, Destiny 2 as well.
I guess in a similar way on that, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see. Any final thoughts before we move on?
I'm still excited. I am still excited for this. Even if it's not like a massive major thing, I'm going to have a lot of fun with the creative spaces. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have a lot of fun with the creative spaces.
Yeah, I know I'm taking a day to really explore that when it launches. So.
Oh, same here. I might actually stream it, which I rarely ever stream PSOs or PSO2 related stuff. I'm mostly just like original PSO.
Yeah, I'm curious what the real functionality of everything is. They haven't announced anything like a bestiary, so that may be off the table here. But seeing like what kind of races I could set up in terms of maybe like creating like a jump puzzle or something like that.
Oh, I'm going to be creating one. It's going to be fun. Have a race where you have to do a jump puzzle. See who can do it the quickest.
Yep. And I'm curious if it'll be possible to set up like checkpoints for players if they fall. But yeah, we just have to see how things are going to play out here, because now, yeah, they put so much effort into the creative space. We know that they did that. We know that
way
whatever
too much effort.
We know it actually delayed the quest that's coming in August. So, and like I said before, that's sounding like challenge mode there.
Yeah, more than likely.
And if that's all that there is, then once again, we're just waiting for the story to pick up.
Anyway,
all right. Go ahead.
Let's move on to all of the new stuff that we have to talk about here.
Yep.
All the
Yes,
other
indeed.
updates that were on websites.
Yep. So with all that, they did release a little mini site here. So releasing June 7th. Unfortunately, this is not conforming to how I typically do this here on the show.
Beautiful.
Let me try refreshing this just to see. Nah, it doesn't. But yeah, so once again, Creative Spaces, that's coming on the 7th. So use materials to build a home, and then now this button's getting in the way. Decorate your room with furniture, edit the terrain. Like I said, I'm curious if it's possible to get rid of all the water so you can just use it as land instead. And then you can create your own gameplay elements. We'll see just how expansive that is, though.
I suspect the water is going to be the border no matter what. There's going to be a certain portion of it you're just not going to be able to get rid of.
Probably.
Ooh, I could do a race where I incorporate a jumping puzzle with hitting all the switches so you open the door. Ooh. Now, it's like I'm just thinking of more ways to do the creative spaces. That, again, I see why they focus so much on that, because it's going to bring in so many players.
Yep. Yeah, no, it definitely is. But it also, at the same time, feels like, you know, if they're going to continue to put so much effort into this thing, that it's going to end up deprioritizing other portions of the game, which was already suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So June 7th, we also got the portable holograms. So you can bring out wrappies, apply paints, add in some brand new visuals. And then, of course, we got cell shading on the 7th. And then we have the Starless on the 14th. So, Title Hunters, that'll be for you, so that you can go back to Aleo and basically knock out. I think it's probably gonna be another 30,000 enemy kills that you need to get on that for the titles. And we do have some concept art here. This appears to be the one that's going to be showing up for that dual quest. We'll see if they actually show up in the regular battle areas as well. And I also pointed out previously, at least on the Discord, I don't think it got onto this show, that portions of this artwork seem to be pointing towards the original Dark Falls look. If you do a comparison there.
Like the original from Phantasy Star 1?
Yeah. So like the arm blaze, the way that this thing is going around its back, and things like that. So potentially this could be a Dark Falls level entity, but I guess we'll see. And then the kind of common element that we seem to be seeing across these is like these feathers that show up on all the Starless. Aside from the ones where it appears that they are infecting things, which let's talk about that for a moment here. Those are basically dolls that we saw.
Yep, excuse not to make new enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And an excuse not to make a new race.
Yeah.
Alright,
Though,
yeah.
honestly, they do kind of also have, the Starless also do have a Photon Beast-like look to them.
That is true.
Not like Inga Fundarge.
Yeah, that being the Photon Beast that showed up in the Ultimate areas and PSO2. Although, Photon Beasts can also be cute, like with Summoner Pets as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's move on to the other kind of big thing with the update here, that being the balance changes. So as I mentioned in the show, you'll be able to redistribute your skill points at will. You don't need the M reset all skill item anymore.
Which is so nice, because that only happened whenever balance changes happened.
Yep. And this confirms it right here. This change is not happening for base PSO2. You can continue to use reset and move skill tree and reset all skill tree items. It's just the N variant that's changing. Moving on to the Hunter balance adjustments. So, Hunter Physique, damage taken rate increased when using it as a subclass. Hunter Physique Extra Shield, increased damage taken rate. Shield durability count when used under a subclass is now the same as when used under the main class. And Partisan Parry Alternate Assault, they increase the potency on that. Now, the wording here is a little confusing, though, when they're talking about increased damage taken rate. So does that mean it's not going to be as effective, or is it going to be more effective?
In other words, a nerf instead of a buff.
Right. So I guess we'll see when the update actually hits on that one.
At which point, that makes the hunter even less of a viable subclass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, Force is still the best subclass to use. Which is funny to say.
Agreed. Just because of the photon point generation that comes with it. Although with the update, using the photon chunks Type 2, and the older weapons, with their level 6 potency, all the items, or rather all the weapons kind of got rebalanced with that, and some of the older ones actually became viable again. So I know there's one series, the Christia series, which gives you photon point generation whenever enemies go down. So, yeah, that, I don't know if anybody's actually made a build based on that, but that might have been able to give players something other than Force to use as a subclass.
Possibly.
Let's see here. Wired Lance adjustments. So, they relaxed the cancel timing for sidestep and weapon action, the first and second steps of Wired Lance normal attacks. Added a forward guard point to the third step of the Wired Lance normal attack. Increased the motion speed for the third step of Wired Lance normal attacks. Increased the potency of the fourth step of Wired Lance normal attacks. Relaxed the cancel timing for sidestep and weapon action for the Wired Lance sidestep strike, as well as the Wired Lance sidestep counter. And they increased the potency of the final step of the Wired Lance's weapon action when holding down a left or right directional movement button for a variant. And then they also adjusted the Wired Lance photon arts as well here. So cutting layer, they increased the potency, they relaxed the sidestep cancel timing, and they adjusted the weapon action cancel timing. And with this adjustment, it's no longer possible to cancel the weapon action immediately after the last strike hits. For Vein Mixture, they increased the potency, they relaxed the attack cancel timing after 2 spins, relaxed weapon action cancel timing after 2 spins, and they extended the attack range for the final attack. Turbulent Train, they increased the potency, as well as the same for Hellish Fall. And then for Partisan adjustments, for Thrusting Javelin, they increased the potency, decreased the continuous photon point cost when holding down the button, and increased turning speed while holding down the button. Zance, did you want to take the fighter adjustments?
Sure. So, Knuckles adjustments. Swift Rush and Thousand Blows got increased potency. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that's kind of small there.
Yeah. It's like, okay, the Knuckles are slightly better.
Yeah.
Cool.
Going to Ranger then. Yeah. So for the class skill Bad Condition Ward, they increased the status ailment accumulation when used by a subclass. Bad Condition Reduction increased the status ailment duration when used by a subclass. Blight Rounds, they increased the motion speed, relaxed the sidestep and weapon action cancel timing, and they updated it to allow the same enemy to be hit by a Blight Round from each player. Along with the above update, a bug will be corrected where the effect of Blight Rounds remained even after the effect duration ended when Blight Rounds hit certain objects. So, what that means is you're no longer going to be seeing Rangers tagging red boxes and minerals out in the field.
Damn.
Unfortunate, but
It was very helpful when it was a thing.
I'm actually surprised it took them. They finally decided to actually remove it. because for a while it looked like they were leaving it in just because it was a useful trick.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so... but I'm curious if this, where it says that it's able, where the same enemy can be hit by a blight round from each player, if that means that we're going to be seeing stacking bonuses, whereby you might have parties of like 6 rangers, and then 2 bravers or something like that.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. And also, can't Gunner apply a blight round as well with a rifle?
No,
I don't think so.
Oh,
I actually looked into that when I was trying to mess around with learn how Gunner works. And no, you can't really.
okay.
Light round is ranger only, and they knew if they gave it to any other class use as a sub skill, it could get very broken very fast. I mean, they learned after what people were doing to Magatsu.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, blight round. Go ahead.
No, I am wondering if what we're going to see is an entire boss just lit up with blight round marks now.
Oh, of course we will.
That's true. That's the other way that it could be done. Maybe it doesn't stack, but you can hit multiple weak points or something. All right, blight rounds reinforce, updated so that the count for the number of hits required to activate this skill will be determined by the total number of hits for all blight round weak points on that enemy. Then we have launcher blight rounds. They increase the motion speed and relax the sidestep cancel timing. And launcher attack reinforce, increase potency of steps 1 to 3 of normal attacks. And then for assault rifle adjustments, they increase the motion of assault rifle normal attacks, relax the cancel attack timing for assault rifle normal attacks, and they relax the sidestep cancel timing and weapon action cancel timing for normal attacks as well. And then for Photon Arts, Raising Shot, they increase the potency and adjusted potency allocation. Sidestep cancel timing, when both charged and uncharged, has been relaxed, along with the same for the weapon action cancel timing. Homing darts, potency increased, adjusting the potency allocation. They also relaxed the sidestep and weapon action cancel timing. And then for blaze shot and revolt aim, they increase potency and relax the sidestep and weapon action cancel timing. For launchers, basically a bunch of increased potency for Photon Arts, Fallen Impact, Fear Eraser, and Multi-Launch. And then for Divine Impact, they increased potency as well as adjusted the potency allocation.
No adjustments to make the launcher easier to use, though.
Nope.
Nope. Alright, for Gunner.
Still the most annoying thing to use for a ranger.
Yeah,
like really good whenever you actually learn to use it, but you gotta learn to use it.
Yeah, I basically just stick with rifle, basically, if I'm playing that class.
Most rangers do.
Alright, for Gunner. Attack Photon Point Recovery. They increase the Photon Point Recovery when used by a subclass, so... and that, combined with Overwhelm, increased Photon Point Recovery when used by a subclass. They might be trying to make this viable like Forces. Dodge Photon Point Gain. They updated the effect so it's activated even when used by a subclass, so that's an addition there. Stylish Onslaught. Changed the forward guard point at activation to an omnidirectional guard point, and they extended the guard points. And then Rising Drive, increased potency. And then for twin machine gun adjustments, for Bullet Rave, they adjusted potency allocation and relaxed timing. Aimless Rain, they increased the potency, adjusted potency allocation. They relaxed the attack and sidestep cancel timing in the second half of the attack. And then they relaxed the weapon action cancel timing as well in the second half, and relaxed jump cancel timing in the second half as well. For point blank, they increased the potency and added an effect to prevent launch and knockback during the approach motion. And they relaxed the hit stops when attacked by an enemy during an attack. And for infinite ricochet, they increased the potency, updated it so that the altitude does not increase during mid-air attacks. And they relaxed sidestep cancel timing as well as weapon action cancel timing. Force adjustments. This is pretty simple. For Rod and Tellus, they extended the distance from the enemy at which drop is mitigated in steps 1 to 3 of Rod normal attacks. So I think the idea there was maybe to make the distance of the normal attack as long as technique casts are. For Tector, weak element amplifier. They increased the value of the Photon Blast gauge, for skill level 14 and below when used by a subclass. But that is going to remain the same at level 15. And some information previously posted was incorrect, and they apologize for the inconvenience. Awake Ale increased the value of the Photon Blast increase for skill level 9 and below when used by a subclass, but level 10 remains the same. For technique adjustments, and I believe this is going to go on for both Force and Tector here. So for Foy, they increased the potency and adjusted the potency allocation, and for Guy Foy, increased the potency. For Barta, increased potency, and Guy Barta increased potency and adjusted potency allocation. For Zon, they increased the potency of attacks that jump to surrounding enemies when attacking while charged. So that might actually give players a reason to use that now. And then for Guy Zon, they increased potency and adjusted the potency allocation. For Wind Techniques, Guy Zan, they increased the potency. Light Techniques, Grants and Guy Grants increased potency. And for Megid and Guy Megid, increased potency. Braver adjustments. Bow Illusion Plus, they increased potency. And for bow adjustments, Flex Arrow, they increased the potency and adjusted potency allocation. They did the same for Frenzied Firework and Ceaseless Draw, and for Dimensional Ray, they just increased the potency. No changes for Katana.
Well, because Katana is probably already pretty good.
Yep. I'm just surprised they didn't think to do a nerf.
They probably should have. But then again, we'd hear a lot of people complaining.
Yep.
Did they nerf Bouncer at all? Because if I was to argue which is the pure DPS classes is like the most broken right now, it would probably be Bouncer. And no, they just increased the potency of the jet boots.
Pretty much, yeah. Pinion Blade, increased potency, Jet Sweep, Jolt, Photon Point Save, increased effect duration, and Jet Sweep, Jolt Rapid Boost, the increased effect duration. And then for Jet Boots adjustments, they increased potency in the 4th step of the normal attack, extended the range for the first hit of the 4th step of normal attacks. And then for Spinning Gust, they increased potency. Same for Fierce Wave. For Violent Gale, they increased potency and adjusted potency allocation. And Surging Impulse, they adjusted potency allocation. Waker! Retro Friend Rescue, they increased the activation probability. They increased the HP recovery rate and reduced the amount of damage needed for activation. Well, for management, they decreased the damage taken rate, increased when used by a subclass, and they raised the HP level at which activation occurs. Hot Marmel Parry, they reduced the cooldown time, and Hot Marmel Parry short cooldown, they reduced the amount of time that the cooldown is shortened by. When combined with the cooldown time adjustment of Hot Marmel Parry, this is an overall decrease in cooldown time compared to before the adjustment. And then for harmonizer adjustments, for Fredrin Breath, they increased the potency, expanded the attack range of non-variant attacks, extended the range distance of non-variant attacks, increased the maximum number of lock-ons for variant attacks, and then for Fredrin Writing, they increased the potency, adjusting potency allocation, expanded the attack range of variant attacks, and updated it so that the explosion occurs even if the variant attack does not hit. And that's it for the balance adjustments.
I always find it funny how, when it comes to how balance adjustments are in PSO2 and in New Genesis, don't nerf anything, just buff everything.
Yep.
Like whenever Hiro came out in base PSO2, oh, nerf Hiro so that it's not insanely overpowered? No, just buff everything up to Hiro.
Yeah, I think the only nerf that, or one of the few nerfs that ever actually did happen was when they nerfed Shunka.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, moving on to the next topic here. So, this is the end of availability for the Renaissance series. So, they're going to replace that weapon series, which you obtained during Chapter 1, with new weapons. So, you're not going to be able to get those weapons anymore. You can, however, still get the armor units.
And apparently they are planning to replace the weapon series with something else. Maybe something not so broken, because the Renaissance series weapons were actually, when fully upgraded, could actually carry you all the way into Stia very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if they just give Prim weapons again. Moving on to the next one here, we have an AC support item select, June 23 planned for release, and this they actually did cover in the show as well. So these are going to be the XD augments, which are a higher tier than the Addy augments, and
more pay to win.
Pretty much, yeah. With an AC cost of 200. And you also cannot have both an XD and an Addy augment on at the same time. Moving on to the next one. So this is the skip feature that we were talking about a little bit ago here. So they're planning to implement a paid feature starting June 7th, which allows players to raise their class level and advance their story progress instantly. So basically with this, with the NGS story progress ticket, you can skip through the main story to the latest chapter at the time of use. The selected main class at the time of item use will get the EXP needed to reach the recommended class level to play the latest chapter. And there's no limit to this, so yeah, if you don't want to do story at all, I guess this is just going to be a repeatable use item then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
primarily be using that for like my other characters that I don't want to play through story again for.
Right, but the thing that's kind of got me curious here is, as of right now, when you create a new character, they are able to skip up to what the current progress of your most progressed character
true.
is. So
this is primarily just for people who just don't want to do the story and just want to get up to the latest stuff.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I guess it's just gonna be for like the first character you do it in the game, unless they actually remove that feature after this update.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you suspect that they're planning to. They might be planning to take away that feature in the future, where every new character has to play through the story now.
I mean, it's not that bad when you get down to it. I did that recently on the Japanese servers, and I was done in about 24 hours. And that was with some sleep. Alright, moving on from that, class level 70 and equipment set. So this one instantly raises the main class to level 70 and provides one weapon from each weapon category available to the selected class, as well as 3 pieces of armor. Now this has a purchase limit of 1 time for each class on the character. So if you're not interested in alts, then this would be the quick way to level up those other classes. Equipment items will be set to increase the character's battle power to the amount they need to play the latest content. And please note that in order to play some of the newest content, it is necessary to learn main class and subclass skills to increase your battle power. But since you can reallocate those points instantly without needing to use a reset pass anymore, that's like a no big deal anymore. And then equipment items will be delivered to the OP team storage. And then there's the NGS version 1 All Trainia Explored. So, this item sets the status of all cocoons and towers available as of June 7th to completed, so that players can acquire skill points from the first clear reward. And if there are cocoons or towers you have already completed, you cannot receive the first clear skill points again. And this is limited to 1 time per account, since this does go across all your characters. Now, the question that I have, is this implying that there are going to be new cocoons and Trainia coming?
Possibly?
Of course, how else are they going to get skill points to us?
Yeah, it's just a question of, okay, if that's the case, where are we going for those? If we can't already see them on Alpha.
I'm guessing they're going to be adding more to the map, possibly.
Basically, Zepeto threw a switch and suddenly there's a bunch of new Trainia popping up. Or possibly the Arks get invited to Lucille to run through Trainia up there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Or we actually are getting off this rock and it's just a matter of time now. But we'll see what the story has to say about that, I guess. Alright, so...
If that actually happens, I will apologize, Sega. If you actually are hiding things, I will apologize.
We'll see. There is the character election. Doesn't specific... yeah, okay, so yeah, this is still ongoing at this point. Goes until version 2 launches, and basically you just sign in with the platform that you use, and then you pick the character that you're interested in voting for. Simple as that.
Vote Zepeto.
Yeah, I went that way as well. Alright, there is also the story completion campaign, which is still ongoing until the 7th. And by completing it, you're going to get yourself a bunch of different items here. Let's see. Yeah, so you got the box emote, you got the NARKS Blazer Type 1 and Type 2 set, and the Operati Short/B. And you also get 100 Star Gems for viewing all the mini episodes as well. And then here's a big one. They are transitioning from Star Gem tickets to direct distribution of Star Gems. Now, for me, I was asking myself, why break a system that's working just fine? And what I came to is this may be related to the whole thing where if your account is inactive for a period of time, they remove, like, AC from the account.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I think it's like 1 year.
Huh.
And the way that you could reset that, at least I think it's for paid Star Gems, but specifically that that they're referring to here.
Yeah, it's paid Star Gems.
Yeah, so I believe using a Star Gem ticket would actually reset that status. So, yeah, if you're not going to be playing the game for a while, maybe just or if you ever get to that point, maybe just hang on to those tickets for a little bit here. Just because otherwise you might come back and you find some star gems are missing, potentially. This is unconfirmed at this point, but at least this is how I read this as. And the other question is this going to be changing for base PSO2 as well?
Possibly?
I think this is something that really the team needs to clarify why they made this change. Alright, moving on. Some notes about mini episodes and adjustments to EXP earned. So, when the new story launches on the 7th, side tasks for side stories that have not yet been completed will be considered completed, and mini episodes that have not yet been viewed will also be considered viewed. If you have not yet completed all the mini episodes, they do want you to progress through them so that you can enjoy the new storyline even more. Side stories that have been treated as viewed and mini episodes that have not been viewed will be accessible through the quest counter, and you can earn the rewards for story quests that you did not complete by accepting and completing orders from the quest counter. So, to me, this sounds like they're going more back to a PSO2 style way of doing things going forward, where you're just going to go to the quest counter and the open world is going to be out there if you want to walk to things.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the adjustment of EXP earned, rewards from the NPC guidance sides tasks and rewards for completing main tasks will be adjusted. And their goal in this is to only distribute rewards in a balanced manner, so the total value will not be reduced. However, if the rewards for tasks you have not yet completed are redistributed as rewards for tasks that you have already completed, you will not be able to earn rewards that have been redistributed elsewhere if you complete these tasks after the adjustment. For this reason, if you have some tasks remaining, they recommend that you try to complete all of them before the adjustments are made. So, talk to Gaiden now if you haven't. But yeah, the idea is they don't want to give away these, 10-level jumps anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And instead want you to actually do the tasks in the different areas to get leveled up.
Which makes sense. It's like, just getting that 10-level boost was a bit insane.
it kind of ruined Kvaris and Stia.
Oh, it absolutely did.
Let's hope they don't do it again in the future with this change as well.
I suspect it was a panic move.
It could be, yeah. Alright. Moving on. So PSO2, as we heard during the show, that's being released as DLC now. So it's still going to be accessible. It's just not going to be included with the install files now, so this is going to make it easier for new players to get into the game, and those that want to play base PSO2, they just simply now have to download the data after the fact. And then anybody who has already downloaded it, you are going to have to download it again from your respective store. So just keep that in mind.
Which is fine. I'll be doing that because there is still some stuff in base PSO2 that I want to do.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no reason not to stop playing that at this point.
Mm-hmm. Hell, I still need to get everything leveled up to max.
They may still be using it to gauge just how much interest is still out there in base PSO2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as long as it's still a method of earning star gems and such, as well as cosmetics, I don't think you're going to see a ton of players leaving.
Yeah.
And that does it for the updates for PSO2 New Genesis. So let's move on now to Clementine here. Let's see. So, Xance, do you want to take these updates?
Sure thing. Let me get this up on my screen real quick. So we got the May updates here. So the update 43 or 53 and 54.
Yep.
Yeah, let's start with update 53. So, Guardian Drop Road. So, this was something that they updated back a while ago. If you remember from last week or last month when we talked about it. Basically, you go through 3 different quests and you get increased drops. And it updated from that week to Sacred Stream, White Beast, and Frozen Sanctuary. And that just recently changed, was an update yesterday. And more ultra rare weapons were could have dropped from that. Electistortum, Poron, Dinde Bell, Gigaphone, and Biwa Hoshi. Oh yeah, the Biwa Hoshi is like it's a staff, but it looks like a big guitar thing. Looks really cool. Frozen Sanctuary now leads to Otaku City, or Otoku City, and all new items have been added to mission loot pools. The Muktengek ultra rares in Seed Express and Snowcap Screamer, Ignis Plus in Tunnel Recapture and Village Defense, Ignis in Castle of Monsters and Ecosystem Crisis, Killer Elite in Endrum Remnants and Two-Headed Ruins, Sig P in Sacred Ruin or Sacred Planet and Robo Gardens. And Photon Booster Plus has been added as a global area drop on S4s, which is needed for making the Twin Distortion Plus. And speaking of, the Twin Distortion Plus was added to the lab shop.
May I pull out? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there is a bit of new news that just got brought up in the Brightstar Discord.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it's confirmed that there is a Defy 2 augment.
Yeah, they did mention that briefly in the show as well. So, yeah, so Sega didn't learn their lesson.
Yeah, which makes sense. It's like, oh yep, need to have specific augments for these quests that are only used in this quest and nowhere else. Have fun.
Yep, everybody hated it.
Yep. Okay, and then rare drop banner. So a banner will announce when a player finds a super rare drop, like the Coast Diary, Ultimate Sorter, etc. So basically the stuff that is extremely hard to drop. But yeah, now a banner will appear saying, hey, you got this. It's similar to what happens in Affinia, if you've played on that. So when someone finds a uber rare drop, a banner will appear.
I wish there was a way to turn that off.
Yeah, but honestly, I like that because it gives like a sense of, ooh, that person found this. Ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but do you want to be dogged later by people wanting you to trade it to them?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, gas added the gas special ability Quick Guard. Quick Guard removes the guard animation from guarding, but take 50%, 25% of the incoming damage. And the Crusher Collapse styles, except Sleep, have been buffed to increase damage by 15% and 25%. And bug fixes. Fixed a bug where Dila, Kana Z, and Godlike Z came out as neutral. All the weapons have been corrected to 50%. Fixed average persisting through missions, or Avenge, and just counters will now track correctly in the player counters, or player records. Nice. Yeah, they just had an update yesterday, which added a couple more things, and did some balance changes and bug fixes.
Yep.
So, Guardian Drop Road updated again, this time in Caves of Ice, Awoken Serpent, and Dusty Mines. Which is MoTube, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So, during the GDR, the following new ultra rare items will drop: Ankdeta, Rep Yupki, and Kansaikon. Some of these names are very interesting. I always love the weapon names in the universe.
Yeah, at least with Ankh, you can generally assume that's going to be an axe weapon.
Oh yeah, Ankh. Yeah, and Ankh is an axe weapon. It's a 15-star weapon. Makes sense. Missions: Converging Roads, increased enemy HP to 100% and adjusted the boxes. Wicked Invasion, increased enemy HP to 100% and fixed the amount of spears from the boxes. Illuminous Illusion, added Zon spheres and BT fragment boxes to the end of the mission. Same with Mag, with Ray spheres and BT fragment boxes. And Frozen Sanctuary, added spawns, teleports, and more on all ranks of the missions. And a bunch of items got added to S4 loopholes. Elective Stordom, Paran, Dindelbal, Gigaphone, and Biwa Hoshi. And new skin boards may drop as well. Oh, skin boards? It's like weapon skins, I'm guessing?
I guess, yeah.
So they managed to add something similar to weapon camos to...
I think that was already a thing in Universe before.
It must have been there must have been a lot of content I just never got to see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there was a lot that was in the Japanese version that was never in the US version.
Yeah, the US European PlayStation 2 PC version basically got shut down like a year after the story completed.
Mm-hmm. 360 lasted a bit longer, but still, it never got updated to the point where JP was.
Yeah, Xbox has a problem getting updated. Like, I remember with episode 1 and 2 on Xbox, I think they got stuck in an eternal Christmas there.
Anyway, balance changes. The Anga Reda increased the hitbox angle for part 3 to 240 from 220. The Anga Doug Rega increased the hitbox angle for part 1 to 200 from 240, or reduced the hitbox angle. Rensen Shenshoga, a Twin Claw PA. Targets have been changed from 444 from 335. Power has been adjusted to 390, 380, 550 from 260, 220, 485 at level 50, so it just got a massive buff there, geez. Scaling changed to 1% power per level, and hitbox angle has been increased to 200, 240, 360 degrees. And the Buku Rensenga. Targets have been changed to be 222 from 344, so a nerf. Power has been adjusted to 410, 600, 800 from 410, 410, 650. That's a pretty decent buff. Scaling changed to 1% power per level, and angle been increased to 160, 220, 180 degrees. And then bug fixes. Rare drop banner works. Cool. Corrected the rates for the enchant and transformed gas weapon styles. Fixed Yasminov 0002 not making any sound. Fixed the Roxari items named to be Roxari Z. And single handguns with the Sky Bullet has been adjusted to work like twins. And yep, that's all the updates for Clementine, which I need to get on Clementine more. I got close to being 190 before they raised the cap to 200, so I really need to finish that up.
Yeah, I think I'm still stuck back in like the 80s or something. It's been a while since I've been on there, and I've just been too busy to get on, unfortunately.
Makes sense.
Alright, moving on to Ephinia. So there have been several updates over the past month here. So starting with back on the 30th of April, so they concluded the Easter event, and then with that, they for the weapon special generation for dropped items, that's been fixed to be correct to the original game. The minimum rank value in the PT data was actually confirmed to be the maximum rank value, and they've been using it wrong the whole time. They prevented the HP and TP restore units from dropping in challenge mode, prevented the possibility of too many duplicates of the same weapon type appearing in the weapon shop. Hunter's Boost Road had been removed in favor of a weekly boosted quest system. A random quest from each episode will be boosted every week, with quests re-rolled Sunday at 0 UTC. Quests that are picked to be boosted will have their drop rate boosted by 19%, rare item rate boosted by 19%, and experience boosted by 19%. All boosts can be increased an additional 2% for every additional player over 1 for a maximum of 25%.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
I prefer that system, because when it came to the HBR that Affinia had for a good while too, you had to do every single quest multiple times in order to increase the chance, your drop rate chances.
Yeah. So now instead of having to do a quest to boost other quests that you liked, if you get a quest that you just don't like, well then you can go to another episode.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
Galatine.
some of the quests that ended up being in the HBR are long. Like, I will give that for PSO. The quests are long. They take a while. And if you don't have like the best kind of team makeup and don't have the damage output, you're looking at spending like 30 to 40 minutes just on one single quest.
Yep, that's how things were back in the day. It's some players like it, some players don't.
I like it.
Same here. Galatine's power is no longer affected by beat time and will always perform at its strongest. They are retiring the Aldrent ship, and they've added another block to both Foldra and Lumireis. They fixed the problem with Episode 4's Lilith NPC speaking English in the Japanese language setting. And that's it for that update. Then, May 7th, update bug. A bug caused the RBR to change this week because of a bad random number generator that was used. And also, thanks to the support of generous hunters of the community, they were able to set up a VPS in Japan and relaunch an old favorite ship server. So,
Alderaan returned as JP Alderaan.
Now located in Tokyo, Japan. So that should provide a better gameplay experience for players in Japan as well as the Asia region as a whole. Interesting, because I used to play the Japanese version of Blue Burst and I never noticed any problems. And this is back in the day when I had dial-up. They added more... Go ahead.
It kind of makes you wonder how... if Sega will finally start taking notice of Affinia.
We'll have to see. And it's not just only Affinia that's out there. Affinia is just the one that we generally cover on this show, but there are other servers out there as well.
It's just Affinia is also the most well-known of all of the original PSO Bluebear servers.
Yep.
It's also the most populated.
I'll agree on that. They also added more Japanese translations to the ship code. Present openings, level 200 congratulations, item drops, maintenance messages, luck changes, and more. When a banner item drops with a significant amount of hit, the hit value will be included in the announcement banner. And they revamped banners for items. These items will now only trigger a banner when they drop with the potential to be teched to plus 30% hit. That
because
being
of how often they were appearing on banners. Like the Lame Derek event especially. You would see that pop up on banner all the time.
Yep. And yeah, so there's a whole bunch of items that this got changed for here. So here's the entire list. There's also a set that will trigger if they can be tech to plus 60% hit.
A lot of like the lower rarity rares.
Yep. And then you've got the level 30 attack technique discs, which will now trigger a banner when they drop as well.
Which good. That's like a 1 in 500,000 chance of them dropping.
Yep.
I think that's the right. Let me check again real quick.
While you're doing that, I'm going to move on to the next update here. So this was a couple of days later. So for this update, they slightly modified how hit is shown on banners. They fixed a bug with Infernal Bazooka showing up on banners. How did that happen? Added the M&A 60 Vice with potential for 60 hit to banners. They fixed the mistake of Japanese banners still using English item monster names. And they added a new ship command / find privacy to prevent your rare item drops from being announced to both the entire server and local party members when playing with PSO2 drops. So you can turn it off personally, but what I'm hoping for is an option to just turn off those banners completely eventually. Mm-hmm. Because why would I be interested in if somebody else found an item?
True.
There was also a game update on May 9th. With that, you can now adjust the size of the visible damage numbers, experience gained, missed text, etc. by using the damage scale slider in the launcher. And you can adjust the display from 25% to 300%. So that'll help players with different resolutions. And then on the 23rd, there was another update. The bug where Saber was dropping from certain boxes was fixed. This bug was created a few days ago when they fixed a different bug where some set items weren't dropping from boxes in challenge mode. Both bugs should now be fixed. And then lastly, Affinia has a rule change.
Oh.
So, basically they have updated rule number 4. In short, there are no exceptions when using a macro, bot, or script to play the game. That's going to be allowed at this point here. Most importantly, this means that using an automated mag feeder is not allowed any longer, and if you are found to be using one, action will be taken against your account. And to be more specific, any sort of third-party tool that allows you to execute more than one input over time when pressing only one button yourself is not allowed. This does not mean tools such as XPadder, Joy2Key, and Micro X are banned, providing you're only using them to remap one input to another.
Makes sense. Like, I don't know why those were even allowed to begin with.
My question, though, is how are they going about detecting this?
Good question. I have no idea.
That makes me... This is something that the team needs to clarify if they're now using some sort of telemetry or not.
Mm-hmm. Also, I found out the chance here. So, from the Affinia Wiki, in the areas where the level 30 techniques drop, there is a 0.1% chance of the technique dropping at any level and a 10% chance of the drop technique's level to be 30. Combined with other drop rate modifiers, this puts the chance of a level 30 technique drop at 1 in 500,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially when it comes to the more sought after ones like Gizande, Gifoe, and Rabarda, those are super expensive.
Yeah, back in the day, it was very rare for a player to have all level 30s.
Mm-hmm. Like a Gifoe, if you're looking to buy one from a player, you're looking at around 200 photon drops, which is a lot.
Yeah. But all right, that's pretty much all the updates that I have. Did anybody else want to bring anything else up?
Nope, I got everything here.
Rooks? Alright, not sure if we lost you there, Rooks.
No, I'm just considering whether or not I should bring up something.
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, I think I'll still keep quiet on it.
Okay.
But also, real quick, before we end this, I want to give another thought. What are your thoughts on them potentially adding a parser to New Genesis?
I think our reactions kind of spoke in the moment on that, but yeah, I think it's going to depend upon if it's party parsing or if it's personal parsing, because if it's personal parsing, then that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Which
it sounded
I
like,
prefer personal parsing.
the way it was sounding, it sounded more like they were just basically going in reintroduce Rock Bear Kun as the DPS check. I mean, as the DPS checker. You know, like what they had in base PSO2.
Possibly, but it didn't sound like exactly that.
Yeah, and I know that there is somebody that's in the process of trying to port the old PSO2 parser to New Genesis, but I think that if that ever gets released, that's going to end up causing trouble, like it did back in base PSO2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember the days of playing on the JP server with other English players and being heckled because my numbers were low.
And then there was the whole expert block debacle.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
At least for the first few years that they introduced it. Then eventually they made it so that you couldn't bring other players in to help you get into those expert blocks. You actually had to do it yourself. But yeah, it's I guess we'll see how Sega decides to implement this. Because yeah, if they just bring back the Rock Bear, then yeah, that's something that we do know has worked in the past. It's just a question of when is it going to be implemented then, since they basically have to load that in as another quest type.
I mean, it would be simply just put it in a Trainia. Just put it in a Trainia. You could, you know, you could actually add it to the quest counter.
True. Although at the same time, I mean, you've got Trainia that go through many of the mini bosses already. So, what exactly are they going to really try to do here?
Well, here's. If I recall, with the Rock Bear, they will actually give you like a damage statistic afterwards, so you know how well you're putting out damage.
Mm-hmm.
So then, rather than creating a new quest type, wouldn't it be faster to just implement that into all the Trainia that exists?
Maybe that might be what they do.
At least for the one-on-one or two-on-one fights or whatever. But I guess we'll see. Any other final thoughts?
No, that's it for me.
Alright. Well then, that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Rook, Zance, and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.
See you later.